Halt! Who goes there? This village is under the direct authority of Her Grace the Queen Regent. We are to grant no unknown persons entry. Off with you then.
Oi!
Go someplace else if you fancy a stroll.
You're not meant to be in here.
I know precisely when a curative is needed.
Off with you then. Lad, we understand each other. You may pass.
What are you doing?
It seems we must part ways for the time being.
You dare incite my wrath? Fie, that hurts!
There's no hope to be found.
Leave this place. You've no business here.
In the end.
Suppose I'll have to manage by myself. There's no hope to be found where'er I turn.
Well met. Glad to see you in good health. The tyranny of the Queen Regent's faction knows no bounds. Passage into and out of the village is restricted, and we're being treated as slaves. I had intended to endure it till Ulrika returned to us, but I fear the villagers have already reached their limit. I'll be honest with you, as you've earned my trust. We've a mind to leave this village for good. The dragon's flame has devastated the land here. Many of the villagers question whether it is worth attempting to restore it. When I mentioned as much in a letter I had smuggled to Ulrika, she told me that the village she's staying in would be glad to take us in. Only problem is how we're going to get past the soldiers. They've confiscated all weapons to forestall our escape. Perhaps if we could reclaim the stolen weapons, or find a means of procuring some anew, we could force our way out through strength of arms. Alas, we villagers are kept under constant watch. It would be unwise for us to attempt aught on our own. You are our only hope in this matter. Pray, lend us your aid. Seems I hear naught but...
Hail!
I've not forgotten what you did, helping me save my brother. Would that I could return the favor. But we've a bit of a situation here, if you hadn't. Our weapons are being kept in yon storeroom, with those cowards stationed in and around it, day and night.
Say, mayhap we could distract them. Then someone could slip in and...
Are you mad? We're simple villagers, no match for trained soldiers. But I suppose someone's got to act. All right, how's this? We'll draw the guards' attention, giving you a chance to sneak in and get our weapons back. You'll do it then? Right! You wait here. We'll have him away from his post in a trice. Just you watch.
What do you think you're doing here? Halt!
How are you faring? Have you been able to procure any weapons for us? You've reclaimed our weapons. Well done, sir. I am certain the other villagers shall be glad to arm themselves with their weapons of choice. My thanks. I'd wager we stand a fighting chance now. The time has come to leave this village behind.
I've got you cornered, Rat.
Don't fret, I've got you. With me! Hold your ground. Do not let our foe approach. Cannot be.
Retreat! We must withdraw and regroup.
You have my gratitude for all you've done on our behalf. We'll make for the village Ulrika staying in on our own from here. If I were you, I'd leave this place afore reinforcements arrive. At any rate, this is where we part ways. But if you're of a mind to visit, know that we'll welcome you into our new homes with open arms. Till then, farewell.
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
After you arisen? Methinks 'twill budge if we combine our strength.
Would anyone care to push?
What is it? If you're looking for Gran, she's out. 'Tis dreadful dull round here. How long do they mean to shut me away? All I want is to study magic, but Gran refuses to teach me. If only I had a grimoire or two, then I could study on my own. If you find any grimoires, would you bring them to me? You needn't seek them out. Any you happen to find will do. Still, I'll write up a list of the tomes I'd most like, so you know which ones to keep an eye out for. There. All done. Mayhap I was a little overeager, but you needn't bring them all. Just 2 or 3 would be swell. Though I would be thrilled to have the lot. Oh, and Gran is like to confiscate the grimoires should she espy them. Pray hand them to me when she's not at home. Have you brought me a grimoire, sir? Thank you for all the grimoires, sir. Is that the last of them you'll be bringing? Then you have my gratitude for all you've done. Would that I had a reward for you. But I'm afraid I've little gold of my own. Oh, mayhap this will suffice. 'Tis a ring my father gave me. 'Tis only fitting, really, given he was the one who forbade my studies in the first place. Go on. 'Tis no cheap trinket. Now, I'd best take my leave of you. I've my studies to attend to.
Miss Trysha was positively thrilled to receive those grimoires. May her studies prove fruitful.
Right you are.
My studies are proceeding apace, thanks to you, sir.
You! 'Twas you who fanned the flames of insurrection and aided the villagers in their flight. Soldiers, apprehend this renegade. The Queen Regent shall have her justice.
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
This cannot be happening!
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
After you were risen.
What's this? Come to admire my sculptures, have you? Ho, ho! To think my eminence as a collector would reach in the ears of the arisen. If only my collection were complete, I'd fain allow you to inspect it. Alas, the sculpture that I commissioned to be its centerpiece is yet to arrive. And 'twould wound my pride to have you behold my collection ere 'tis made whole. If your curiosity shall not be denied, however, mayhap you'd consider paying a visit to the sculptor in my stead. The man's home is located in Bakbatal. You need only tell him that I eagerly await the sculpture's completion.
Let us speak with everyone we can think of who might know aught of use.
We managed to avoid the worst by some miracle. I am grateful for your aid. You must come visit us again, once she has recovered.
'Twas a near thing, but Miss Trysha is saved. Let us look in on her again in the coming days to see how she fares.
I am well aware of the particulars.
How goes it?
I am grateful to you. Come visit us again, once Trysha has had a chance to rest.
Yon path leads not to our
Hoy! 'Twould seem I've you to thank for saving me as well as Gran. Who could have suspected things would happen as they did? 'Twas as though my very self was about to vanish. Gran said 'twas because the magic within me is many times greater than 'tis within other people. She's going to teach me how to control my magic so it won't happen again. I can hardly wait. Oh, that reminds me. Keep this a secret from Gran. But when my magic was all out of control, I learned a sort of technique. I'll need to study hard if I'm to try it without exploding again.
Learning to shackle such immense power.
This might surprise you, but I've already mastered a variety of magics. And since you've been so kind to me, I'd like to teach you a special one. Are you keen?
Suppose I could enjoy some idle chit-chat.
You've been good to me. To us. I'd wager 'tis about time I showed my gratitude. I mean to teach you one of my techniques. I've every faith you'll use it wisely. Take this, with my blessing.
There's ought to be said for peace and quiet.
Go on. How goes it?
I heard what transpired. Thank you for fighting on my people's behalf. You cannot imagine my relief when I beheld that everyone had made it out unharmed. Say, would you visit me again once night has fallen? There's aught I will show you.
Just yonder. Looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
I say, we collect as much as we can carry.
You've come. Glad I am to see you. Follow me.
Tis a strange thing. I ne'er knew how vast the sky was, till I left Melve behind. Time and again you have come to my aid. Would that I could repay you in some way. Alas, there is little I have to offer. Yet, if your heart e'er aches for a place to call home, then may this village... No, not the village. If e'er you're in need of a hearth to return to, then let it be mine.
Tis not your place to question my decision.
Whate'er trials we may face, I shall see this village and its people safely through them all. I've heard all about your exploits.
Tis a joy to see you again.
Ah, hello again. I trust you are well. All's peaceful here, and I mean to keep it that way.
Huh? What in the... Where did you come from? Did Clark send you? Oh no, he did, didn't he? I'm sorry. I'm really, truly very sorry. I haven't slept a wink, I swear it. Well, I suppose I might have fallen asleep once or twice, but it isn't as if I've been lazing about. I simply haven't been able to devise any good ideas. I tell you, this arrangement has been an encumbrance on my mind from the very beginning. While I am glad that the old man appreciated my talents enough to commission me, it doesn't change the facts. I can only depict subjects that I've seen with my own two eyes, which makes things rather difficult, given the task at hand. Say, you appear a rather strapping sort. Would you be persuaded to bring me to a griffin? 'Twill be well worth any trouble. Clark shall pay handsomely to see this done, and you'd be doing me a great boon besides. I've heard aught of a griffin's nesting place. I shall await you there. Do keep in mind, however, that you must needs drag the battle out if I am to complete my sketch. Of course, I could look as long as I pleased if you were to petrify the beast. Indeed, a beast frozen in place would be much more easily drawn. 'Tis said that a famed sculptor of Eld used a Medusa's severed head to petrify her subjects before sketching them. Of course, I wouldn't presume to demand aught so legendary of you, Arisen. I only ask that you aid me in completing my sketch as best as you are able. Then I shall depart at once. Pray, meet me at the foot of the Guerco mountain range, east of the rest town.
Just yonder. Looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Shall we see? There you are. I was wondering when you'd show. Now, are you ready to aid me in sketching that griffin? Remember, you'll need to draw the fight out as long as you can. I must behold the creature from every angle if I am to coax it lifeless. Marvelous. Up we go then.
Let us accompany Sir.
Positively splendid.
Well done.
Let my magic grant you an elemental.
most of the century.
What? And our glory shall burn.
That ought to do it. Methinks I've got what I need.
How are we meant to attack it without...
Done. With this sketch, I will doubtless be able to chisel a fine griffin. Seeing the creature in the flesh is a wonder. The interplay of its bones and muscles is simply fascinating. This sketch shall serve me well. All that remains is to return home and take up my chisel.
This material can be used to enhance equipment, and is a rarity besides.
We shall have to think long and hard about what to do with it.
It's a good use.
In traversing other worlds, I came to know of a treasure chest in this area. Perchance you'd like to see it.
Just yonder. Looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
Can it be you are lost, Arisen One? The path to the dragon has many turns, but I can illuminate the way ahead if you so desire. I see. A cruel twist of fate has robbed you of your identity. Above all, you must seek to recover your true self. I see. A cruel twist of fate has... This meeting shall not be our last, Arisen. Can it be you are lost, Arisen One? The path to the dragon has many turns, but I can illuminate the way. This meeting...
We have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time. Here's a surprise.
Our collection grows.
Interesting. I shall have...
Well done, Arisen One. You have seen through my deception and divined my location true. To one of your wisdom, I would be honored to pass on the most subtle of my trickster's arts. I see. A cruel twist of fate has robbed you of your identity. Strange.
Now here's a surprise.
Our collection grows. Interesting. I shall have to inform my own master of this.
Tread carefully. There is no telling what might lurk.
Try not to let the highway stray too far ahead.
Well now, this is a nice surprise. Care for some tea?
If you're e'er in trouble, I'd fain come to your aid.
Aye, you've a bit of a special place in my heart. This is for you.
I invited myself along. No such thing as too much training, eh? I plan to keep it up, just like Beren taught me. Till I'm even stronger than you. Stronger than... I invited myself along. No such...
So vast is this world, indeed. In the grand, but are these differences so great? Is this the man I sought? Truly? You're satisfied with your answer? Then I shall weigh its merit. A human from the faceless swarm is no less a challenge than to seek a single grain of sand on the Alta Batal coast. Yet pluck you have, and for that I congratulate.
Outstanding.
Though ours is a battle of wits, come, try. However, bear this ring into battle. It seems your mind is as strong as your arm. You have more than earned your reward. Another chest is yours to claim. And with that, our game comes to an end. As amusing as it has been, I shall now take my leave of you to await the next courageous soul who would test their wits against mine.
Follow me. I'll lead the way.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
I'd fain lead the way, if you would be so kind as to follow me.
About time you showed up. We've been waiting for you. Our mission is simple. Sir Augustin will board the ox cart. We must safeguard it from would-be assailants till it reaches its destination. See to it that none approach. The Queen Regent's supporters will come for Sir Augustin's head. Of this, we can be certain. Oh, a quiet day is a welcome one. Come along now. What was that sound? Who's there?
Hold a moment. I'll be handling Augustine's escort from here.
Foul brigand! We shan't allow Sir Augustine to fall prey to the likes of you!
There's no need for theatrics. I know your aim here. Ah, here's a surprise. We met at the tavern, remember? Fair warning, cuz this craven isn't worthy of your trust.
He speaks madness! Subdue him at once, ere he injures our noble charge!
Why, if 'tisn't Sir Ragnar from the tavern.
You would betray me. Have you lost all sense?
You believe me then? That's a bit of a relief, actually. Thanks, cuz.
Curse you! All that planning and... for what?
Phew! I appreciate the confidence, cuz 'twas a welcome surprise. But I can't linger here, I'm afraid. My apologies for this. Follow after me, if you can. Succeed, and I'll share the truth of all of this.
The decision is you. I grant you lightning's fangs.
Let us instead strive to better ourselves with every battle.
Master? Master, can you hear me? Are you unharmed?
Great, seek an exit. I shall search for a way to rejoin you.
We meet again. Hoy there. I take it you lost your footing as well? You seem to have fared better than I did. I took the fall for Augustine, only to find myself waist deep in monsters. Still, so long as he escaped, I'd wagered that makes this a job well done. Speaking of, I was to tell you the truth behind all of this, wasn't I? I'll be glad to oblige you, of course, but we ought to get moving first. What say I explain while we search for an exit? Time to get to work. From what I've seen of your skills during that mess in the tavern and today's business, I can say you're really something. And my word ought to carry a fair bit of weight, considering my reputation as a warrior of unparalleled skill. Though of late, I've mostly been playing escort to spineless nobles. Turns out, as a sellsword proves himself, the list of those who can afford his services grows shorter and comes to be written in finer ink. Makes for a duller life, though I can't say I've any complaints about the weight of my pockets. Still, I hunger for a real battlefield, where a single misstep spells death. I crave the simplicity of it. There's naught else like it. The clashing of bodies and wills. I'd not say no to a fight with you. Let's have at it when I'm all healed up, eh? Mayhap, I'll not give you a choice in the matter. I'm not sure what's brought me here. I suppose I'll have a few drinks and hit the hay. That escort mission was a trap concocted entirely for your benefit, you know. It was supposed to give those responsible a means to incriminate you. But Augustin is no fool. He had his doubts about his summons to Vermin and hired me to watch over him in an unofficial capacity. So I looked into the cart that would be escorting him, and lo and behold, I found your name. But it wasn't on the list of hired guards, oh no. Rather, your name was on the list of persons to be on guard for. In short, you had been called in to act the part of the culprit. Mark my words, if you'd carried on with them, Augustin would have been slain, and you would have been held responsible. You'd not have stood a chance against all that if it hadn't been for me. Aye, methinks I've earned my pay this time, and then some. I protected my charge and got you away from the scene without your being branded a murderer and thrown in jail. Now all that remains is to escape this place. I expect we'll find a way out soon enough, if we only press on. Still, I've got to wonder where this craven plot came from, and what you did to warrant it. One thing's for certain, you must have powerful enemies in Vermin. But why? 'Tis not as though you're the arisen true. What? You are the arisen? Ha! 'Tis a small world indeed. You've piqued my interest even further, cuz I've no business here. Best I hit the road. Right, let's press on. Judging from the flow of air here, the exit can't be far. I've not a mite of interest in the squabbles of nobles. Right awful place to be cut short. At least you made it out all right. Don't worry, cuz. I'll be fine on my own. After all, I can't afford to die here. We haven't had ourselves a real bout yet. We'll see each other again. You can count on that. And when we do, you'd best be ready for the fight of your life.
Clark means to unveil the sculpture before a select audience. He asked me to extend an invitation to you as well. I will await you at his estate in Vernworth's noble quarter. You will attend the unveiling of my work, won't you? Join us at Clark's estate in Vernworth's noble...
There's a ladder here.
Ah.
Welcome. Well met. Is there naught being done to make safe? Look as long as you please.
Dear, that's the wrong one.
Ah, apologies. Thank you, my darling. Fie. My vision's growing worse by the day, I fear. Methinks it began when I started reading an old grimoire I found whilst tidying the storeroom. 'Tis entitled, On the Transference of Souls. A curious tome, this. It claims to grant the reader the power to summon things from beyond the rift. I thought I might use it to stock my shelves with otherworldly wares. Perhaps you will think me simple, but truly all I want is a better life for my wife and daughter. Yet 'tis most vexing, for the moment I start reading the tome, 'tis as if a fog descends over my eyes. But mayhap there is hope for me yet, if I can get my hands on a quince. They're said to reduce fatigue of the eyes. Would you be kind enough to procure one for me? I must keep reading that grimoire.
I've heard quinces are native to Batal. Shall we see if we can't find some?
We're here, Master.
Have you brought me a quince? Many thanks, sir. At last, I may continue reading that grimoire. This could be the turning point in my family's fortune.
We ought to follow close behind.
Welcome, and well met. That's just brilliant. Well met, sir. You'll be glad to know that I finally finished my reading of that grimoire we spoke of. Which brings me to a curious point. There's a favor I'd ask of you. What happened to my eye? Oh, never mind the bandage. 'Tis nothing serious. Now, as I was saying, I'd like for you to find the grimoire's second volume for me. 'Twould seem 'tis part of a set, and will only reveal its true power when both tomes are in hand. The copy I possess is but the first. I've heard tell that its twin can be found in a queer little shop in Vermont. Alas, passing through the border checkpoint is no simple matter for a humble merchant like myself. But you, sir, I dare say you are not of Batal. Then you ought have no trouble passing through the checkpoint. I implore you, find that second volume for me. All I want is to give my family a decent life, the life they deserve. This is my chance to provide for them as I ne'er have.
A queer little shop.
What business have you here?
We've acquired the grimoire entitled On the Transference of Souls, just as Sir Isaac requested. Will we be delivering it to him? The choice is yours to make, Master, but let us speak with him either way. I believe I can guide you to the person in question.
A guide is most welcome.
Mother, quick! Over here!
Beg pardon, sir, but I must ask you to stop aiding my husband. He lost his eye while reading that grimoire. His eye! I can't bear to see him involved with that fell thing anymore. But he refuses to listen to me.
He's been saying not to worry, that he'll make us more money soon. 'Tis as if he's lost his mind how much he repeats it.
'Tis all my fault, Mother. He's only been like this since I said I wished we had an easier life.
No, 'tisn't, dear, and don't you fret. Your father, he'll be back to his old self before you know it. Pray, sir, seek out that grimoire if you must, but do not give it to my husband. I beg of you.
Ought we to give Sir Isaac the grimoire as he requested?
'Tis a pray, help not to my husband. Let him abandon this folly.
I'll ne'er forgive myself if aught befalls my father. Don't help him, sir, please.
I've a modest talent for spotting materials that can be used to enhance your... We've acquired the grimoire entitled On the Transference of Souls, just as Sir Isaac requested.
I've a knack for gathering items, and am ever on the... I cannot say what is best here.
I happen to understand Elvish, Master. We have acquired the grimoire entitled On the Transference...
Greetings, Sir Arisen. Have you found the second volume of On the Transference of Souls, perchance? Ah. No matter. These things do come again.
We offer excellent... service at a fair. Do come again.
Greetings, Sir Arisen. Have you found the second volume of On the Transference of Souls, perchance? Fortune smiles upon me at last. With this, my shop's prosperity is all but assured. Thank you, Sir Arisen. Oh, perhaps you'd care to join me. Come, bear witness to this momentous occasion.
We ought not lose sight of our guide.
I'll try it at once. Come, bear witness to this momentous occasion.
How much suffering must these bones bear?
It falls on me to resolve this.
It doesn't get much worse than this.
You wish me to return? At once, Master.
This is it! This is the moment I've been preparing for.
Dear, is this truly safe? I'm afeard of what's to come.
Have faith, my darling. All is well. You need only stand there and watch.
Father, you don't need to do this. I'm happy with our life as 'tis now.
'Tis good to hear you say that, my daughter. But I've come too far. I must see this through. I believe I need only... Ha! Did I? Did I do it? A failure, then. Ah, well. I suppose our fortunes were ne'er likely to turn so easily. I've learned my lesson. No more of this grimoire nonsense for me. I'll settle for being a humble apothecary after all. My dears, can you forgive me for my foolishness?
Oh, Isaac.
You two had the right of it all along. I ne'er should have chased after a silly dream like this.
Father, I shouldn't have complained. I know you do your best for us. You always have.
Enough of that now. You've naught to apologize for. 'Tis a father's duty to provide for his children. I only wish I could give you more. You have my gratitude, Sir Arisen. Though I failed in my quest, I've learnt much. And from this moment forth, I'll be focusing my energies on naught but my trade. I hope I can count on your continued patronage, sir.
So this is the conclusion.
What business have you here?
I wonder if we would have been wealthy had the experiment succeeded. Suppose it could have gone either way, really. Mayhap I should just be grateful nothing untoward came of it.
My husband has returned to work with renewed vigor. 'Tis good to have him back to his old self. He'll have all the support we can give.
Follow me.
Have you ever been at a loss as to how to proceed? Well, whenever I'm
patrons, connoisseurs, friends. My humblest thanks for joining me here at the unveiling of my collection's crowning jewel. There is much more I should like to say, but the anticipation is apt to kill me should I stall another moment. Let us gaze upon the sculpture now. Ah, what splendid work this is. Let us give a round of applause for young Fulvio, who breathed life into this block of stone. And for the good Arisen, who aided him in his noble venture.
That sculpture was rather impressive, wasn't it? It was well worth rendering our aid, methinks.
A result to be proud of.